Alrighty then, so, gentlemen, congratulations. The Earthbound is dead. Yay, victory!
But that's depressing.
I
Oh.
will always be doubtful of victory. There is no victory here.
So, Demi,
Sup?
you and your ghoul arrive. Elysium.
How does it look like?
There's some fire damage in one corner of the building. Looks like someone might have tossed in a stray Molotov through one of the windows.
Does trying to just sort of get an accurate is it how expensive would I feel this is going to be to repair and stuff?
Give me a perception finance or perception craft roll.
I mean, I don't have craft, so I'll do perception finance, and I would be kind of wary because this wasn't a part place, so I think Auspics would be active.
Okay.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 6. It's pretty straightforward thing.
So reduced by Auspics, right? So that would be basically difficulty 3.
Auspex counts for half, I would say, on this so far.
Perception is attentive.
Yeah, looking over it in great detail, it looks worse than it is. A lot of the surface has been scarred by fire, but you don't think there's much structural damage. So generally speaking, it's a question of redecorating this floor, and this could actually be in your favor, because you can probably get it for a lower price, especially if you can get the assessment doctored to your advantage.
Perfect. Well, at least there's a good thing that comes out of this. Are the other buildings near Elysium kind of in the same situation?
It depends. You saw one that was gutted by fire driving over here. Others seem intact. You have broken windows. You saw some bullet holes. Actually, now that you are looking, still catching faint whiffs of blood. A day later.
Place is a mess, but as they say, basically, forest. A forest fire just makes the forest grow again, better and stronger.
Demi, give me a likely luck roll.
God damn it.
Okay.
Wow.
Double twos, come on.
So. Shit. Okay.
Are you just gonna throw some gangsters at me now?
Yeah, I think I am. Demi, give me a wits self-control roll.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 8. Okay.
Damn.
So, see, how bad do I want to make? Probably not very. So, presuming that you're moving around, looking at the buildings.
Yeah, not too far from Elysium. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
most of the glances were from the car.
Yeah, just taking a look around, making sure all is well. Yeah, this really... Okay, so, someone you discounted previously as harmless, just probably like a black man covered in soot, is at one point gonna end up close to you. He is gonna try and shoot you, I think.
Well, okay then. Understandable. I mean, I have celerity. I think it's pretty hard to dodge that, but was I able to get any reaction in before that?
I would say not with the two, because the idea is that that's an Auspex thing, and something catches you by surprise. But I'm not sure if I want to play it like this, because I'm so hesitant. Does that seem iffy?
I have a bit of a better idea if you want to kind of go along with that. Although, if that was how the Auspex was going, it probably should have been something that was already there. But a different idea is that some of the, you know, ash soot stuff around there was actually hiding a bit of a fire still going, and it just started, you know, catching back up again.
If it was during the day and it's now heading towards the end of the night, it wouldn't still be going by now, I think.
No, it's actually possible. It just depends exactly what was burnt. Charcoal and stuff can burn for a long time.
You know, I think we're just gonna go with this being like a body shot, so he doesn't end up fucked and just surprised by the flash of the gun. He probably didn't expect a scraggly fuck that seemed to still have fight in him. Okay, no, that sounds stupid. What would be a good thing to surprise you with? That would make sense.
Maybe just a mugging.
No, cause
that's almost the same thing as what this is right now.
you know what,
I
Demi?
mean, fair.
No, I have a better thing. One of the buildings that looks like it has been broken into at some point, just from the second window, someone just tosses something in your general direction and you're drenched. And then the smell hits you.
Is it? I'm gonna ask because I have a feeling what it is. Is it gasoline of some sort?
No, it's not gasoline, it's worse.
Oh, it's shit.
Yeah, looks like someone has been filling a bucket. Waiting for the next rich white dude to pass by.
Oh, somebody's plumbing isn't working correctly. They've resorted to medieval times.
After this, I'm just going to reply with in sort of a passive aggressive voice because it's kind of
They
obvious.
just yelled out at you, "Eat shit, Whitey!"
Thank you for your hospitality, good sir.
They throw the bucket at you. Do you wish to dodge?
I mean, of course, I'm going to try and just dodge the bucket because I can see it. I'm not really good at it, but I'll try. No, that's me.
Okay. I'm gonna say that the bucket with the hate advantage is 3 dice of bashing, plus 1 for the good throw.
It hits him, but it just bounces off, as you know you would almost expect.
Get off our streets, Cracker!
I would have much preferred a conversation, but never mind. And I'm just going to sort of go into Elysium at this point.
And thus the old, smelly man enters the nice, prim, and proper Elysium.
I mean, it's kind of burned. The first floor is fucked.
That's
The rest is fine though.
it's just one corner of the building. It's like maybe a third of it has fire damage at most. So it's not that bad. Looks like it was one of the blazes that was swiftly controlled. Like others.
By the way, since I was in Elysium previously, do I know if there's a shower or something in here, or is this a kind of a residential place, or is it fully commercial of
It's
sorts?
kind of residential, and Andrew does have guest room, so there's probably a shower. I don't think you used it, but it makes sense that there would be at least a couple up there.
Yes, well, because I'm kind of slow, I'd like to, just in advance, just sort of ask Samuel to politely go to the top floor where Elysium is, look for a man named Andrew, and politely ask him on the behalf of Benjamin, if possible, to prepare me a room that I can go and shower in and change, or at least my room or something.
Okay, he's gonna
While
arrange that.
while I hubble more slowly up the stairs.
Okay. I think this is the same night where the fight is happening.
The Earthbound night fight? Yeah, I think it is.
Give me a perception awareness roll at like an 8.
Nope, perception's attentive, but I don't think that applies here.
I would say that it kind of applies. You think you feel something janky going on, and you, like going up the stairs, you think you saw something out of the corner of your eye through one of the windows.
Huh. The city's on fire and rioting. It's just hopefully it doesn't come over here. So yeah, I'll just keep my way up.
Okay. Righty. And you make your way up, and Andrew is... See, I think Andrew is smart enough to have fucked off and give you the chance to clean up in peace. So, when you arrive at Elysium, there's just like a pair of hookers passed out next to a bottle of booze. Or not hookers, models. We're supposed to call them models.
They better be models.
But yeah, if I can go into cleaning and nobody spots me, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, you can easily.
Change into a new set of suit. The old one is probably gonna have to be burned.
Oh,
Probably.
what the hell have you done already?
Somebody threw a bucket of liquid shit on me.
Wow. By somebody, do you mean the
Black people.
Actually, no, Bacon's kidnapped.
No, it's the Nosferatu's close cousins, black people.
Wow, Demi. Just wow.
So after sprucing up, so to say, I'll go to see where Andrew is.
I mean, I've kidnapped everybody from your Elysium, sorry.
I know.
You said get them to safety. I got get them to safety,
Yeah,
get them to the shelter. I did it!
You
Yeah.
did good.
Yeah. For all my sassing and being sarcastic to everybody.
You did good, Lambert. Thank you.
You're probably gonna take you a little while to find him, but you probably come across him and his child in one of the rooms just listening to music on a record player.
Yeah. Just sort of entering and glancing. What's the atmosphere that's here? I mean, I presume what it's going to be, but
It's
you know.
give me perception empathy to read the room.
I actually think I wouldn't have Auspics right now active simply due to outside smells and such. It's going to be difficult. Yeah, and then probably some stench left. So, difficulty for this 6 or
Yeah, 6. Yeah, there's a definite atmosphere of we don't need any more shit tonight.
yeah. I mean,
Be ready.
I
We're about to
literally
be in a Marvel movie.
I literally don't
Wait,
give a
what?
shit
What
now,
have you
so,
done this?
I'm just going to, go in. Is it just Andrew and a child, or
Yeah, it's just the two of them.
yeah, I'm just going to make an obvious sort of approach and go like, "Good evening, Andrew. I've finally arrived."
I think it's actually almost morning.
Yes, it will. I see that the other tour does seem to have left, looking for safety, I presume.
Yeah, they actually you're supposed to be at the chantry. They went over there. Some of
Ah,
them.
yes. Well, I had an option of either staying in Chantry or, well, coming back to Elysium and help, and I made my decision.
Oh, I hope that Premier don't do anything.
Now, they won't. I can assure you I've been there for, I think, how much have I been? Like 2 nights? 3 nights? 2 nights, right?
You have been there one night, I think, by now, because you decided to come back on the second one and actually help.
Right. Oh, yeah, actually, 1 night, and basically since this night, I've mostly been still at the Tremere from the morning. Yeah, I've been there for a while. Don't worry, Andrew. I can assure you that the Tremere I've met, at least, have, well, they're good. They know their ways around manners, hospitality, and from the rumors previously I've heard of the last regent, it seems much more functional.
Do you
Luckily,
have
Elysium.
any way to frame the Nosferatu for starting the riots? At least for the mortals.
Well, I believe you've listened to the radio later. For the mortals, at least, it seems that the Russians were to blame.
City is still burning tonight. There's some weird fucker going around protecting, I think, just the white population, actually, judging from the reports.
Well, if you want my honest opinion of who I believe the culprit is, I do actually believe it's the Anox. And I kind of have some kind of sense of evidence to it. More specifically, have you met the Venture David Gray?
In passing,
Yes. I've heard some rumors about him, but essentially, wherever he goes, he tends to destabilize the city from the inside, and then his pals come in and create either more chaos and the cleanup. I think that this may have been an attempt of such sort. A very poor one, it seems, that seems to have escalated.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Do we really need to do this tonight?
No, we don't. I know that everyone's pretty tense, and relaxation is a need.
Right.
And I'm just going to go and sit down and enjoy the music.
Lambert, are you at the wheel when you're driving over?
No. That's what I've got my ghouls for. Why would I drive myself? Also, I don't think I've got any dots in drive, which is
Okay. Then I'm gonna want a perception awareness roll from 8.
a what?
A perception awareness roll.
Okay, I'll just put in the difficulty and yes, I was saying a what because I've got 1 dice. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Any specialties, Kappa?
I don't have awareness and I have 1 dot of perception. What do you think?
Well, when you're getting out at the chantry, far off in the distance, you think you see a some sort of mystical energy fountaining over the city.
Wasn't that last night? Or has that happened
Oh,
again?
no. This is the same night as the
No.
demon fight.
The demon bust was last night when I was getting the room.
Ah,
Oh yeah, you're forward in time. I
Yes,
forgot.
I'm forward in time.
never mind then. Yeah,
Last-
I think
Yeah, I
Demi
saw
is
that
still
last
dead.
night when I was
Then yeah,
going to sleep, and it's like, fucking damn it!
in that case, yeah, there isn't a second explosion.
If there's a second explosion, I really, oh god.
Okay, but you can see living magic. Same.
Huh, where? Is it the... It's not just the chantry. Because...
Okay. You think you see a faint glimmer in 1 or 2 spots near the chantry. Outside its grounds, but near it.
In nearby houses, or...
More like in alleyways, discreetly positioned in dark corners, that kind of thing. It seems weak, from what you can tell. And your perception sucks anyway, but...
Yes, so while 1 ghoul is staying with the car, and the Toreador are getting out and acquainting themselves, I will take the other ghoul and have a bit of a look.
You go closer. It seems to shift away from trying to stay hidden. Looks small, like house cat sized at the very most.
What, any fey magic or werewolf? Those would be the 2 ones he'd be acquainted with.
Give me a perception occult roll to see if you can figure out who it might be tied to.
What difficulty?
We'll call it a 7, because it's trying to avoid being obviously visible. At a guess, it might be some sort of a spirit, maybe an animal spirit, and you might be seeing the bindings on it. So that might suggest werewolves or other spirit-affiliated fucks.
Is it a dark alley? And are there any humans or other witnesses about?
No, just your goal. But you see just a glimmer. You don't see an actual animal there. So it would be on the spirit plane. The only reason you can detect it is because you have the living magic axe.
Yeah.
Seems like it's watching the chantry.
Don't have any way to just catch him. Just chuck a bottle of werewolf blood at it and see what happens.
I mean, you
No,
could try.
Doesn't help anyone. That just...
Waste your meal.
It's like,
Bottle broke, give me more.
And is there 1 of them? Multiple of them? I try to...
You had examined 1, but you saw at least 1 more glimmer coming from a different area. So it looks like someone has set up some sort of watch on the chantry.
Interesting. I'll go then inside to mention this.
Yes, on the regent.
But also I'm slightly showing off the fact that, hey, I brought a bunch of Tremere here to be protected, and this will make them have a good view of you. You know what? You know the entire thing that I was meant to do to help you? Because I'm good at this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Hey, and the person disappointed. Yes. But as well as just helping the Toreador getting settled in here and do any introductions necessary, that I presume all of them apart from Sybil know each other, really, given actually being in the town.
And Marta is new as well. I think
Oh.
you kind of end up seeing one of the fledgling Tremere leading them out with the idea that they are gonna be assigned rooms since it's early, early-ish, like the last third of the night, I think, something like that. Rest of them are just still chilling.
I will. Is there a discreet moment to talk to the regent amidst all of the?
It doesn't seem to be particularly involved. A party, people seem to be in their own little bubbles, so you can just pull her aside if you.
I will. I say, if you have a moment, there are a couple of. I'm not quite sure. Seem to be some kind of spirits, not physically manifested, but watching the chantry. They didn't look like part of the chantry's magic, so
Okay. Well, here's the thing. You can't see blood magic, like dead magic, so
yeah.
you. From the chantry, you just see the somewhat suppressed pulse of its, wellspring, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very much not vampiric magic or the wellspring from here.
Hey, hey, give me a second. Let's go. Just follow along. He's gonna take you down to the vaults, actually, and
Walt.
she is gonna open it up and rummage around until she comes out with a small mirror.
Is it other magic or presume it's their magic rather than the
Yeah,
stone?
it doesn't light up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Also,
let's
usual
see.
thing of turning truth telling on just because I forget to mention every so often.
Okay,
Should mention every so often.
okay. Why don't we see if we can closer?
Of course.
And yeah, you can take her outside, and she can try and detect it.
Yep, unless it's just legged it. Unless both have just legged it.
Okay, I think this is you. You do see the glimmer, and you can direct her towards it.
Okay.
Okay. See, and yeah, you walk up to it. She uses the mirror, uses aspects, and she's actually able to point out to you what looks to be a raccoon of some kind that seems to be transparent and there if you shift the mirror just right, like a faint outline of it. And when it realizes that you see it, then it takes off.
Flighty little bugger.
Oh, okay. 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 Fair enough. Do you carry a gun?
Nope.
Okay. Can take you back inside. Gonna take you to the vault. And she's gonna give you a knife with a silver edge. Think I know what this is. If you see any werewolves sniffing around here and they jump you, just Good luck.
Yes, good. That's. Yes. I don't think just the silver dagger will help, but I appreciate the gesture.
It I mean, what else can I do?
I mean, I could do more if we probably could track them down, deal with them, but the prince apparently has put a nix on hunting any supernaturals, though I wonder if this part of the treaty allowed them to snoop around the chantry. If it doesn't, then I'd be more than happy to help you.
Well, they,
Hunt them down.
from what I understand, they tried to break in a couple of years back. And really not sure that I should tell you anymore, but we have reason to believe that they're not just gonna ignore this place.
Ah, right. Presumably that's the underlying magic here, which is possibly important to them. I mostly know of them as a prey rather than a.
Well, let's just put it this way. The previous regent had an interesting approach to things, and an interesting approach to ownership, if you.
I've heard the word standard procedure being used a few times in that context.
Can. Please don't.
Okay.
Fucking William. Okay, at least we have Sledge back. That's positive. Unless he tries to fight like 4 werewolves by himself, in which case we won't have Sledge.
Maybe inform him not to fight 4 werewolves.
He seems to be under the impression that we don't necessarily have the authority to ride William's commands. It might take a little while to get through to him.
Depends how alive you currently like him, but of course, that's.
Well, are you gonna be staying here tonight? Or are you gonna be moving on?
Probably moving on unless you want actually me to stay for extra security against werewolves, though I'm not ideally suited in terms of arms. I have arms.
I mean, we can handle the fighting. We have plenty of ghouls here, and we do have some silver, but if you could keep an eye out and see if you notice any more spies like that, at least, just to check if
Of
they're
course.
still there, that kind of.
Of course, I will.
That would be.
Now that I'm actually able to travel about the city freely again, if I will endeavour to at least once a night come here to check around, see if there's any in the perimeter, as well as also helping you with the image issue left by the previous regions. I hope the Toreador quite enjoy their stay here, though it was at their clanmate's suggestion, who seems to have left by now. He is a bit odd.
Yes, well, do have a. Wondering if the advantageous to both of us put our heads together and see what we can do about getting some changeling.
I would, yes, that would be advantageous, though depending on the situation, I don't think they like riots unless they cause them.
I mean, that I was thinking more in terms of when this calms down a bit, it's gonna be distracted, and as long as we don't kill the changeling in question, especially if we're able to mind wipe them afterwards, say we
That sounds
drain a bit
that
of
sounds
blood, bottle it.
sounds most agreeable. That should, yes.
You have the
And
ability
I
to
shall,
detect them easily. We certainly have the manpower. Also, flying gargoyle.
as long as Sledge doesn't decide to kill them, I think that should work brilliantly.
Yeah, that's definitely something to consider and discuss the details. And we can certainly arrange for containers that will allow the blood to be preserved for a reasonable amount of time. Well, that's
It's rather having Ghost have to
logistics.
drink it immediately rather than actually.
Well, it's kind of useless if you can't store it for as long.
Yes.
Speaking of which, actually, you know what? Never mind. Yeah,
Raises an
she's
eyebrow.
just thinking through it, snapping her fingers. Probably won't be able to use those files anyway. You've, made use of the blood
Yes.
within. If it's no trouble, I would appreciate it if you
Of course.
brought them back. It's not a big deal, but it saves us a little time in enchanting you.
Of course. Though with how busy the latest night's been, there hasn't been a chance to settle down in the laboratory and see what it might mix with, and obviously need actually suitable agents to mix it with and everything.
Yes, there is that, and well, I am somewhat proficient in the blood magics of the clan, and well, my research is usually in a different direction. Seeing what types of mortal blood might react in a useful way with the werewolf sound.
Yes, that is a general.
We could.
It's more through necessity. Getting a larger enough amount of different, more
Yes,
exotic
yes.
samples to mix is a work of years, whilst mixing with different kind blood, especially in terms of emotions they're feeling at the time. That can be quite productive.
Yeah. Well, I might be interested in doing this, and if I'm not, there's certainly others. Leonard, for example, who has actually managed to learn a impressive amount of thaumaturgical lore in a short amount of time. It's definitely something we can work on.
Yes, and it shall be a pleasure working with you on this.
If we could come up with a way to use it not just for interesting effects, but for more recreational purposes. I think changeling blood in particular have an interesting effect. But
Rather, depending on the changeling and all.
we could come up with a way to do that in a reliable way, maybe even synthesize the effects. The Toreador would be very happy to wait for that and spread it further.
They're very happy with. They are.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. That is very true. We must remember to test the effects of mundane drugs in mortal blood as well.
I think they have been doing that to some degree, though.
Well,
does
when
seem
mixed
rather,
with supernatural energies, of course.
well, yes, they maybe might need.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
Torador's an
that
expert.
if we could enhance the effects of whatever Andrew's favorite poison is, he would be very grateful.
Presumably, his favorite poison is whatever most of the hookers there are drugged up on.
Aren't they
Too hard to.
models?
There's a difference.
She's gonna raise her fingers if she's gonna say something and then she's just gonna. Not worth it, just shut up. Say anything.
Kind of quaint the different terms over here. I'm rather used to the old country's sayings.
Right. Well, yes, in any case, I think I would be quite happy for us to work together on acquiring more interesting samples.
Of course, as soon as that is, the city calms down enough to be. Or if the werewolves decide to get uppity, then that's a perfect opportunity to have some subjects there.
I do think that we are gonna need someone with a reasonable interpretation of morals of capturing people and draining some of their blood from among the Malkavians. Someone with an inquisitive mindset, perhaps. Since I believe the changeling holdings happen to overlap with Malkavian territory a great deal.
And a Malkavian which is fine with wanton.
Yes,
Oh
I
dear.
think you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about, and
He's not exactly that likely to talk about since he himself is involved with Vivian. And if Vivian finds out about us trying to catch a child, even if we're gonna just set it loose right away, I don't think she would approve.
not entirely, not unless there's something which they have done first. Didn't he end up in a bin 2 nights ago, though?
Did
How the
he?
fuck do you know about that?
I thought he got mentioned at the.
No, that hasn't been mentioned anywhere.
I
Huh,
don't think it has. His recovery was kind of on the DL.
right, sorry. I'm misremembered the conversation. Yeah. Yeah, because they all got this. It was the crocodile god thing, and you didn't mention it then. It was after you went from that, rather than still while admiring the crocodile god on the ceiling. Why is did anybody work out why there is a crocodile god on the ceiling?
No.
No,
Why-
fair enough.
It's there and it's
In
beautiful, don't you?
any case, I think the approach we should take is that it's hard to forbid something they don't know about. And given that we are not going to be jeopardizing the alliance as long as this goes right, or whatever they have going on there,
Yes.
I,
So, yes, targets of opportunity and all that. If the werewolves decide to do something in the meantime,
I mean, if the werewolves decide to do something in the meantime,
that would be
I'm
fun.
just gonna open up 2 dozen windows on the wall facing them and have everyone gun them down.
That's a please. If there's anybody who can,
We'll drag the
I
bodies
think-
inside afterwards.
I think no. I was more thinking that Sybil does cinematography, and as a kind of a counterpoint to the kind of senseless violence of the riots, something which is actually more, well, obviously for internal consumption, Torridor and whatever, a counterpoint of the use of violence against those who truly both deserve it and are, well, it might be uplifting for her.
We'll see. I don't think she brought any of her equipment. Don't really. Tools like that here, but yeah, why not? If she's interested.
Yes.
Not that we even know they're coming here, but I have a feeling someone's gonna
If
show up sooner or later.
they're sneaking about, then any way to trap one of the sneaks? Most of my methods require them to rather more be in a physical state to be trapped, which they are not.
I'll think on it. I'll think on it. We'll see if we can come up.
Of course. So I do bid you a good evening. I hope the Toreadors are very much appreciative of the security you are providing them. And I will drop by tomorrow night at very least to check for the scamps.
Yes.
Bow and leave. Again, making sure the Toreador are all having a good time.
I'm actually gonna
Relaxing.
catch up with you when you on your way out. By the way, Gregory, if you do end up doing this, and if you happen to want warding against werewolves or they could work something out.
Of course, if they hopefully it won't have to come to that, but I mean depends how things turn out. It could turn out exceptionally well and need that. But thank you.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Of course. I will even quite late, early by that point, so I might just go back home, but is there enough time to swing by the Elysium just to give a? I have delivered all of them to the places. They're well.
I think what you can do is probably easiest is just to call. You probably won't have time to make it back to.
Ah, right. Yes, telephones. Yes,
Okay.
I will go home and then call the Elysium to make sure they're all
Okay.
well.
See a pair of baleful eyes watching you from one of the rooftops as you drive off.
Is it magic baleflies or just baleful baleflies? It's a gargoyle, isn't it?
It's just a gargoyle watching you.
Wave.
Okay. You think it's now following along, half flying, half jumping across the gaps in rooftops?
Yeah, I probably should put some experience points into perception at some point. Maybe.
Eventually you think it's gone. And you are able to make it. The hotel.
Oh, I wasn't going back to the hotel, I was going to my home.
Ah,
And I can go home,
you can go
can't I?
home. Yeah. I'll.
Good.
Where did you set up your home, actually?
We hadn't managed to go through it. It was going central-ish in an area which would actually have large houses, but more modern style, but not in anybody else's existing territory, which it's slightly hard to tell exactly how far the different territories span.
Generally, it's like the red lines on the map. You can assume that it's approximately that far that the main span.
So something like the 7th Ward is actually empty?
Yes, effectively. Or at least officially effectively it might be like a split between Toreador and Vivi and the Gangrel, considering it like within their sphere of influence, but people
Well,
are free
yes,
to
that's
settle
what.
there.
Right. Well, yes, it's sort of that area, maybe near the St. John's Bayou. Bayou?
Oh, like here? You can
Yes.
set up there just fine.
Fairly central, and where's the Elysium's down in the French?
Yeah, you would be almost equally from both Elysiums. So,
Yes, that sounds good. And then there's the Tremere, not too far, and
okay.
hopefully it's not literally on fire. And also, it's far away from kind of fucking weird, random Oh god,
Okay.
he's having fun with werewolves.
Lambert, I'm glad you reminded me of the fires. Give me a likely luck roll. Oh, Darch, that one. Your neighbor's house has burned down while you were away.
Huh. Huh.
It's just ashes and foundations now.
Huh. Could one go to could one of you in the day see if the that is now unowned and see about actually getting, because obviously a custom building would be much better than just the general one we've bought so far, especially for laboratory and basement purposes. So if there isn't an insurance claim and
Okay. Setting up a custom laboratory thing? I'll let you do that, but that will be a downtime action to get it
yes,
set up properly.
yes,
But yeah, definitely,
yes.
and you
It's
can...
just starting to actually just claim that, so it isn't just somebody else snaps it up and rebuilds just whatever on it.
Certainly, you can start the wheels on that.
Mwahaha. I mean, great.
Okay. So, good. Epic. Were you able to hunt successfully on that morning? Did we handle that part?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're gonna switch over to the next night after that. Because I think you probably have a few things you want to say before we start passing time a bit faster.
Let's see. Well, I just need to hunt particularly. She's gonna try and make sure if people are okay, generally speaking, if anyone needs any help. Um,
You probably
there is
would
something I
have...
want to do, but I'm not sure what the best point will be to do it, so I'll just do that one based on feeling.
Okay. You probably did have a quick, we need to talk from the more politics-based Archon.
Well, of course we need to talk. I was wondering where the other one was, but that's up to them. That's their damn investigation, so...
Everyone is
Well, the
They're the ones that
implication was
came
that
over to me.
they're gonna be by tonight at some point. Or at least she is.
Yep. Everyone says that, yep.
But given that they're elders, and most of them aren't that humane, you can pretty securely get at least one full hunt.
Let's see. How many hunts can I do if I try and do it pretty quick?
You could squeeze into without
try
risking
and-
being late to your own office.
Yep, exactly.
3 if you want to risk it a little bit, or you would
biscuit
if
for
they're-
biscuit.
if they are coming here first thing. If you do 4, it's almost guaranteed that you are gonna be late.
Right. That case, let's risk it. We're going 4.
Biscuit for biscuit.
With 4, it's almost certain that you are gonna be late. 3 is what you can do with some risk.
I mean, look, I have a perfectly reasonable explanation. I was very nearly drained of blood.
Uh-huh. Well, go ahead and make your rolls. I have a feeling you might not need that many rolls to get that good. Given
We'll
that,
find out.
I think given your insane debuffs, it's still at 3. Because it's like, you know, oh, little
Yeah.
girl, are you lost? Let me take you to your parents. Forget.
I've forgotten who
this
my parents are.
Please, sir, I'm a lonely orphan. But
Hey.
yeah, we'll see. Because I don't want to risk anyone going crazy. So 1 point hurts sometimes.
That's 5.
Well, all right, add 5.
Actually, more, because gaining trust is a thing. So you have 13 successes on that.
Sweet.
So let me get. That's 7 people.
So 5, 6, 7. All right. Again.
Okay, that's another 7. You need Jesus. I don't think you're gonna be late though.
I don't think I'm gonna be late either. That's actually plenty for me. I'll be going back after that one.
Okay. Then you are probably waiting in the office with Dougal. Okay.
Dougal, you might want to wait outside again. Sorry.
He's giving them the most passive aggressive glare as he walks out.
Apologies. He often doesn't respond very well when people try and lay any possible danger and or criticisms at me.
Just gonna silently forward. I assume there are chairs there.
I mean, I presume as well. If there wasn't, they do now. I've brought him from a different room.
Okay. Can you not? Can you not?
What?
He
That was ages ago.
Yeah, that was
suddenly
That
walks
was
up
literally
and,
when they first joined.
Like so long ago.
Right.
silently walks up, pulls up a chair, sits down. It is kind of confused, but she's gonna sit as well and just gonna sit back and let him take the lead. Right. I have been told that your message last night must have gotten garbled.
I kind of expected that to be a real possibility. I don't really know you much, but I was trying to get you to go back to your haven and see about helping deal with the new demon that was found and was trying to cause some real issues itself.
I have been shown the remains of the object that it seems to be genuine and inert.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure. I personally could feel some kind of residual energy, but it was very faint. I just requested that it kept being stabbed along the way back just in case. Don't know much about demons myself, so.
Suspicious.
I see. And yet you made deals with. Care to explain about?
Yes. Well, first I will have to explain how the demon was hiding initially. You see, the demon wasn't really interacting with almost anyone, as far as I could tell, for a very long time.
He raises a
Halfdan,
finger. You are aware of this for more than just the recent chaos.
yes.
I see. Go on.
You see, Halfdan had apparently become um, um, friends with the demon
Yes,
at
I
some point.
am
Uh,
familiar with such friendship.
uh, no, like there wasn't any real pact or anything, but uh, no deal that I understood it as. They were um, acquaintances with benefits. Yeah, it was very weird.
Finita by this
It
point
wasn't.
is leaning over and whispering a quick briefing on what Halfdan is actually like and how much of a degenerate fuck up he was. You're just hearing it. He tries to speak with anything. Sense of dignity, no sense of decorum, and no true respect for the camarilla rules. He's a wild animal. And just on
So,
and on and on.
it wasn't actually me myself that ended up having the initial finding of this. Halfdan had been having this relationship on the down low for a very long time.
Hey, no doubt.
Approximately how long? Years, months,
Bruh,
decades, centuries?
I think it was decades.
Ah, hard to credit that he would still be up to that.
hmm Uh, so, uh, from his thoughts, which is how I managed to find out about all of this, uh, he apparently had known her name, and they actually generally got together to just do some um,
This would be
you know what I mean.
her. This would not be her true, proper name. This. How she could be the one.
I don't
Uh,
know particularly, but um,
he's
it
actually
did allow
gonna.
one to reach her. Yes.
He's gonna ask for a piece of paper and he's gonna spell the name out on paper and show it to you. It's the same one you know.
Yep. That is indeed the name.
See? Good.
Uh, so from his interactions, which I managed to get from his thoughts over with the decades, she did not appear to be in any way a particularly hostile, or even a particularly, um, you know, particularly horrible, corrupting influence on things around her, with the exclusion of the more carnal acts.
Yes, I've seen the newspaper.
With such a creature being nearby and not really causing any issues, I, while not knowing too much about demons in of myself, did give her a benefit of the doubt for not having, as far as I was aware of, done anything that could harm the city or vampires in general. It would generally, I view that as trying to stir hornets' nests without reasonable cause yet.
Yes, the Tremere have submitted a report from their end detailing how William's attempt to stop the creature went.
Yeah.
Please, somebody send someone to replace him.
So the issue came up eventually that Halfdan wanted to break off his association with her and did it in a most violent of fashion. That is when the troubles got started with the demon. It's also when his association was somewhat revealed because the demon sent him to try and attack the sheriff, trying to get him harmed. So, after that, the demon made it a goal to try and, well, bring harm upon Halfdan. As he was a dear friend of mine, I did try to help defend him as best as I could. But I do have a personal belief of, well, when one does something, the repercussions are their own. The demon proceeded to try and harm Halfdan any way she could think of, burning down his former bars, trying to get rid of the Elysium during the day. But the only time that she ever actually tried to do anything that was harmful to other vampires that hadn't tried to kill her was, well, trying to get them to attack Halfdan. And if they tried to attack her, as you know, with the instance with William, she responded in kind. With this being the case, I did see about getting in contact with her to try and arrange a deal. And
Kind
by
of a
this, I mean a
deal.
mutual agreement in which we would ignore each other in the city.
He's actually gonna pull out the Bone of Lies at this point and slide it over to you. I'm gonna need
Do I
you to
even recognize
describe
this?
I need you to describe the deal in detail for me, and well, you have
Two.
to you had a lot of positive interaction with me.
Uh,
Backstory.
Not very positive per se. Tamir
Yeah,
specifically didn't really like me helping gargoyles, so
they commonly used ritual, so give me an intelligence occult of like 7.
surprisingly, apparently I might know a little bit about it.
Yeah. You recognize that this is a way of forcing the truth out of someone, and generally speaking, they'll be able to see if you lie. And if you try to lie, then it will force out the underlying.
Oh, okay.
You know
That's
the
pretty
practical
simple.
functions of it. You don't necessarily know how it's made or what the limitations might be, but you have a general idea of how it works.
She'll just pick it up. She will remark that, well, that's a little forceful, but okay.
Yes, well, we cannot take the chance that the prince of a city is corrupted by demons. So we
Yeah,
apologize, but we do what we must.
it's reasonable. So I got in contact with her to try and bring an end to all of the friction and violence going on between her war with Halfdan and the rest. She agreed that she would definitely see about ignoring everybody as long as I wouldn't particularly interfere with what she does with Halfdan. I was understanding about this caveat, but I did insist with her to not cause any kind of permanent harm of any particular sort on Halfdan from her ministrations, as he is and was and still is my good friend. He just has real problems with,
Are you
trying to
trying
do
to
good
leave
things.
out a bit that you are gonna trade him away to her for several years?
I mean, I'm not trying to leave it out. I thought that was fairly. Is that not fairly put in there?
I don't think you mentioned yet that he was essentially gonna be her pet for several years.
I suppose I'll add that onto the end a little bit here, but yeah, I wasn't to interfere with any interactions with them for several years, and to allow their association for a period of time as well.
Okay, let us see.
That's not me lying. That's how we did it. They started adding pet and stuff to the title and stuff after we did the negotiations. That didn't actually
It
come up.
wasn't so much blocking. From her side, there was a clear implication of essentially giving Halfdan to her, almost like a
And
thing.
I straight up told her I cannot actually give you Halfdan, as that would have to be his
And then she countered
thing.
with, give him to me for a few years and then I'll give him back.
Hmm. And my previous point still stood. I can't really give you Halfdan. I can just try and not interfere with the situation.
Give me a manipulation bar roll to try and maneuver around this as far as the bone will allow.
That's not really maneuvering. That's actually how I thought of it and how I thought Vivi would have thought of it.
That's fine, it's a difficulty 6 roll, but Demi is right, you are skirting the very edge of it. And Vivi is not imperceptive and would know that the demon definitely did not approach it.
I mean, that's not even something I'm trying to hide. That's just how I thought of it.
Okay. Let's do it differently then. He's
Not,
gonna
no, I
continue
can.
asking.
You can just have the bone work if that is the case. It's just that's not me skirting Demi. That's actually how I thought of the
No,
deal.
that's a fair point. The bone would not trigger it if you think it's the truth. But he's done this for a while, so he's essentially gonna ask questions to get the rest of the details out. And if you're not gonna deceive him, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. If that's how the deal was, somewhat being led towards, that could easily be revealed. I'm not trying to hide it or anything. That's just how I viewed it,
Okay.
and how I think Vivi would have viewed it.
And the next several minutes answering questions about the rest of the details. He's gonna ask you. Actually, you can put that down. If you wish, for the moment.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me about what happened when Halfdan met up with her again? I've heard there was a showdown of some kind.
So, from what I was able to find out, Halfdan came to a decision to leave the city as soon as possible. Demon then proceeded to say that they would need some funds to get around and went to procure funds from the sheriff.
I see.
They did this in the most foolish and stupid way possible, which led to the breaking of that deal we did make of non-interference. They ended up interfering the sheriff doing some of his duties and, showing the new elder, another friend of mine, Sighard, what's going on in the Bruja area.
We are gonna need for you to try and arrange for us to have a sit down with elder known as. He was also.
As if your investigation has shown up, you will probably already know he is currently in the very delicate claws of werewolves.
Pulls
I'll
out
see what I
a
can do, but it'll take
notebook
some time.
and just makes a note of that. He's alive.
He is alive. The negotiations with the werewolves have proceeded, and their former hostage of the negotiator slash diplomat that was assigned by the previous prince has been returned, but Thorbrand is still in their custody as long as we're continuing these talks to try and reach some kind of peaceful agreement with it.
You're also gonna need Halfdan's body.
That one you will have to just bring up with the Gangrel. We were about to get to that part, but it sounds like you know something about it. I decided to let the Gangrel decide how to deal with Halfdan's betrayals of everything going on and his failures to help deal with the problems the clan was facing in the city. So that's really up to them. I really don't even know anything about where the body is. That was part of the deal I made.
Well, no then. Might be better. Well, it's not gonna matter. We can talk with them first ourselves. And then have you explain the situation to them if they approve. Vic, why don't you give me a charisma expression? Day 6. That is taking your enchanting voice count, and as in it's 6 after all the modifiers. Hitting doesn't apply,
Yep.
but it would be a high base because you are trying to make yourself look really good in really suspicious circumstances after a person who you watched again.
Well, it was a botch for a different thing, but yeah, makes some
It-
sense, I suppose.
Yeah, it was tied to this.
Okay, let's see. Can I use my elder hacks?
You can. If you're
I
aiming
use elder
specifically at
hacks.
him, then yes.
Yep, it is him.
Okay, let me
So
put
first,
there for you.
yep. If you want to give me a difficulty, go ahead, or I'll roll at 6. Either way.
Go ahead and roll 6. Okay, you can add the 7.
All right. And manipulation or charisma?
Charisma expression, because I think you're trying to be.
That would be more correct. I'm not trying to really beat around bushes or trying to do anything besides maybe present a pretty decent face for everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. 17, 6.
Okay. Well, I think that's most of what we need for the moment. As soon as the curfew is relaxed, we will be going around the city and questioning everyone who is involved with it. And obviously, if you know anyone who we might aware that has had interactions with the demon, we would also expect to know about that. And well, you should know that our Justicar will be visiting in a week or two. She has grown concerned
Okay.
about the situation.
I'm not surprised. There are two demons suddenly seeming to appear from the city is really bad.
Yes, there is a
But you're
chance
welcome
that
to
I
come back
might.
anytime, and if you need clarification, I'll give it to my best.
Yes, there is a good chance that I'll be staying here for several months to thoroughly investigate for any additional signs of corruption. Since apparently there was a. Well, if there were two of them here, who say there's not a third or a fourth somewhere?
That would suck if it's anything like the other one.
Yes, it would.
I will advocate that Florin did not seem to take any actions that were particularly against vampire kind or even, kind. It was neither kindred nor kind, so she seemed pretty reasonable. I would ask that the Camarilla tries to see about maybe making some kind of arrangement with her instead of trying to do anything particularly violent.
Vivian, you just hear one word in your mind. Fuck! You mentioned her by name.
God damn it! Why does she not have a different name? No, seriously, I'm calling some. Why does she not have a different name? Why is it just her celestial? You make things so tough, dude.
That's
No.
how celestial names work, don't they?
No, usually demons go by a common name, and they only give their celestial out different times. But
I don't think you ever. Like, you knew her celestial name from the start and you were mostly talking in private, so at that part was like, why bother?
so I have some different to call her? Why not that?
You don't. That's the thing. She
That's
never
the
shared
point.
a normal name with you. Yarkon
If you
just slowly face palms. Okay, that was
You know what? Yeah,
unfortunate.
I'll just give her a nickname. Fat ass. There.
Rude. She had a good ass. Not too fat. Not
She
too
sends you an
slim.
image of her looking in the mirror, and while her ass is round, it's not unpleasantly so.
Jealous.
That
Little
rule
girl
is
jealous.
why do I have to be the one always fucking around with the fucking name? Damn it.
Well, it was gonna happen sooner or later. No doubt she has thrown her name around like she forward. I would have expected Sigurd to fuck up first, but done is done. I suppose we best go. Except the bone. Sit away. We'll be around. Benita is gonna stay behind for another 15 minutes to just quickly go over the usual business with the other cities, like so and so is doing that, and so is having trouble with anarchs. Would you be able to, and just basic coordination between princes.
Mm-hmm.
She will mention that she has a message to pass on from Neville that he would essentially like to come over in the coming months to pay his respects to his longtime competitor's child.
I don't give a single fuck.
Okay then. Rude.
I'm sorry, but there's a fucking thing where apparently every fucking time I say a name and I have no other thing to call the person, I'll just summon their fucking attention. God fucking damn it.
You know, Epic, it's part of the reason why she wouldn't have bothered to give you a proper name. Because it gives her forewarning when you're sharing it or talking about her. If you fuck up. She has all the motivation not to
I have
share
enough
it.
of a fucking hard time in real life remembering most of these NPCs' fucking names, and the one of the few I can remember, I try and keep using so I remember it. But no, fucking doing that's horrible. Ugh.
And on that outflow, so why don't we take a quick break?
Yes, this will be a long break. Fuck me.
You know,
Really? Wait.